I am 100% permanent and total Navy Desert Storm. In this video, I want to talk about most, I would say, challenging things about filing a claim is getting denied, right? A lot of veterans are sick and tired of getting denied. They're giving up. But I know you need to know what is your next course once you get denied. Even if you use a service like ours, sometimes you do get denied. I'm not going to deny that or hide that. It's not because the paperwork is trump tight. It's because there are employees who make mistakes. Just like you go to a Walmart in the hood versus a Walmart in a nice neighborhood. You may get the employees in the neighborhood that's nice to walk you to the aisle and point to the product that you're looking for. Whereas if you in the hood, they may say, it's over there. All right. So you got some employees don't really give a damn about you or your family and the benefit you're trying to obtain. So, and they have made a lot of errors. They won't even look at your evidence, your nexus letters. They won't even look at things that you're saying like sleep apnea secondary to obesity caused by PTSD. They may look at terror and put terror there, which is a exposure type of thing like the PACT Act. And you didn't submit a claim for terror, did you? You fill in a claim for sleep apnea secondary to obesity the regular way, not looking for any presumptive claims. So moving right forward here, I want you to direct your attention towards this about the higher level review. This is your next course of action. The higher level review is designed for you to get on the phone and without submitting any new evidence, go over the evidence that is there for you, right? So let's go move on, okay? A high level review is a review of a decision that is completed by a high-level reviewer who is part of the centralized HLR team. You see it right there in front of you. I'm giving you nothing but the law, and this is the M21 adjudication manual and was not involved in the original decision-making process for the issue being reviewed. Let me say that again. It is a review of a decision that is completed by a high-level reviewer who is part of the HLR team and was not involved in the original decision-making process for the issue being reviewed. So the HLR team is what was not a part of your original adjudication team. This is a whole new set of eyes designed to look at this information from a different perspective, okay? And this is according to the law. The 38 CFR 3.2601, the review is a de novo review, meaning the high-level review only reviews the information in the record at the time the decision was made. No new evidence is reviewed. So if you ask yourself, should you bring new evidence to your high-level review? The answer is no. Because if you bring up new evidence, they're going to say, look, we'll draw this claim and let's do a supplemental claim. You don't want to do that. You want to do the high-level review. Why? Because the high-level review is going to keep the original intent to file date, because you got 12 months from this date from your decision to keep all of that back pay money. I just got off the phone with Mr. Ray out of Arizona. He was denied claims, and he came to us at 80%. We got him to 100%, but he had to go through a high-level review. All right? So we had to fight fire with the fire. How do you fight fire with the fire? 38 CFR. In accordance to the law, VA treatment records are deemed received by the BVA, okay? So you mean to tell me your treatment records at the VHA is not the same as the Veteran Benefit Administration? I keep telling you guys that the hospital, the VA hospital, is a totally different division from the Benefits Administration. Where does your check come from? The Bureau of Administration, all right? At the time, the VBA had knowledge of the existence of such records insufficient to locate them. Therefore, the reviewer may consider the Capri records. Wow, y'all getting the inside view that were available at the time of the original decision, but are not contained in the claimant's VRNE record during the HLR. Now, let's go through the process. To request an HLR, veterans, the claimant must complete the 0996. All right, request for decision review, high-level review, and submit it to Janesville, Wisconsin. All evidence intake center. Evidence intake center is in Janesville, Wisconsin. If you're a New Life Insider, you should know this, and you should know that I teach fax it into them instead of doing quick submits, because you don't want them to lose your information. All right? Now, the request must be submitted within 1 year of the date of the decision specified on the letter. Now, I want you guys to pull out your decision letter. I want you to look at the top left-hand side of the decision letter, and it should be a date there. You got 12 months from that date to do a higher level review, and they're going to call you on the phone. All right? Now, if a request of the HLR is received after 1 year has elapsed, the higher level review must notify the client, the claimant, the veteran, and the representative, your VSO, well, I don't know why we need them, if any of the necessary information to complete the request form. If a complete request is received within 60 days of the date of VA notification of incomplete request, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Now, the 0996 must be date stamped immediately upon receipt, and the information must be entered in the case flow, which is described in section 2.04. This is the inside scoop here. If the issue in which the claimant has requested an HLR is also submitted for an appeal at the VVA, the higher reviewer must take all the following actions. Stop all action on the HLR. So if you say, you know what, stop the process, since I can't, submit any new evidence, I don't even want to do this HLR. I want to leave it up to a docket number, citation number, or the BVA. Good luck, because you're going to wait for 3 to 5 years. All right. The claimant, you as the veteran who just got denied, said, JB, I got denied even with all that rock solid information, man. I said, hold your horses. Let's do HLR. The claimant has the right to one informal conference per issue. So if you filed 11 disabilities, you got one informal conference 11 times during an HLR. An informed conference is defined as discussion with the claimant and his or her representative via telephone or as otherwise determined by the VA for the sole purpose for allowing the claimant and or representative identify any errors in law or fact in the prior decision. Did you see that in law? Ladies and gentlemen, you guys are trying to figure out without the law. This is your issue. You're trying to wrap your hand. I don't know why they denied me. You got to go back to the law. New evidence cannot be provided during the informed conference. So while you got your paperwork ready for some new stuff, you done went to a new exam, to another doctor, you done hired an attorney and all this good stuff. I'm going to beat them. You can't enter new evidence on an HLR, okay? If the claimant and or his or her representative present new evidence during the informal hearing, the higher level reviewer must inform the claimant that the evidence cannot be considered for the higher level review. If the claimant wants the evidence to be considered, if you insist, he or she must withdraw the request of the higher level review and request a supplemental claim. I said that, all right, which is on a different form of 0995. All right, in this instance, the higher level reviewer documents the withdrawal request for a higher level review and returns the case to the case manager. All right? Let's move right along. The 0996, you want a higher level review. The conference is comprised of the claimant, his or her representative if you got a VSO or an attorney, and a higher level reviewer. In this most case, it's just going to be you as a veteran if you're a New Life Insider. The higher level reviewer leads the discussion, not you. Let them lead the discussion and must document the completion of the conference in electronic case notes in the claimant's, the veteran's VR and E record. So write that down. They're going to put that in your VR and E record. Okay? Rescheduling, I don't have to talk about rescheduling. Let's talk about the outcomes. High-level review outcomes. All HLRs must be completed, a decision rendered, and the claimant informed the decision in writing within 90 days. 90 days, ladies and gentlemen, you got 90 days to get a decision from an HLR. Some people do it in a week. Quick. Some people get it done in 30 days. Very quick. If the higher level review agrees with the original decision, he or she will uphold the decision. The reviewer must complete all the following actions. Just tell them what they got to do. Overturn the decision. I talked about Mr. Ray out of Arizona. He's got it overturned. If the higher level review disagrees with the original decision, he or she will overturn the decision. The higher level reviewer must complete the following actions. Inform the claimant of the decision in writing using VR64. Update the case flow manager. Return the claim to the case manager. All right, the third thing. Identify a duty to assist error and return for further development. Sometimes there are errors. So we want to see an overturn or a duty to assist error to win the claim, okay? If the higher level review identifies a duty to assist error during an HLR or determines that additional information is available that was not considered in the original decision by not them looking at your nexus letter, DBQ, or anything else, which may likely impact the decision, the higher level review will return the case to the assigned case manager. The case manager must immediately contact the claimant to initiate the process of obtaining new evidence. The case manager has 30 days. So on a duty to assist, that case manager, as soon as they find that there's an error, they got 30 days from the time of the high level review, return the case to obtain new information and re-adjudicate. That means adjudicate all over again. Also, the high level reviewer may require further development of the case before a decision can be made. In any of these instances, the high level review must document his or her findings. The claimant must be provided the HLR decision in writing using VR58 or VR64. One of the two, they're going to notify you. The identification of a duty to assist error automatically triggers a service connection. Therefore, the higher level review must update the case flow as soon as the duty to assist is identified. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to understand me. Just because you got a denied claim, it could be no error of your own. It could be the VA's error. Either we want to overturn it to an HLR, or we want to have a duty to assist so we can overturn that decision, state the case. Usually 9 times out of 10, when you get back on the phone with me, you're going to submit your denied claim, your decision letter to me. We're going to go and walk through it step by step on the reason for decision, the favorable findings, and we're going to identify the issue right away on that call. Usually probably take 30 minutes. All right, for that call. And then I'll advise you according to the law. I'll be also sending you the appropriate laws that grants your decision via the law. So if you get denied on sleep apnea, secondary obesity, for example, I'm going to send you the law on direct service connection. I'm going to send you the law on secondary service connection. I'm going to send you the law on obesity. These are laws that you can say on the phone when you're doing your informal conference, because when you're informed and you know what you're talking about, you're empowered to win. You know exactly what to say. When you have a person like myself on your team, you are more empowered and you're not feeling inferior when you're on an informal conference. So they know who you're dealing with, okay? Now, sometimes you have veterans that say they didn't even look at my court cases. You can go and Google the court cases that I have for you that we're putting in your claim packet so you can look at it and read the whole detail of the whole decision down from the BVA so you can be better informed and empowered. If you want to be empowered, if you want to take this thing and take it to the next level, to the high level, and change your life, you need to click the link below, newlifeinsider.com. Let's get on the phone. Let's do a consultation, even if you just got denied, and let's win your claim. Talk to you soon.